Hi, my dear. Yeah, come in, come in. You must be my next tattoo client? Yes, for the flash. Correct. Good, good. Glad to hear. You signed in at the front, got all that paperwork done, signed the waiver with Terry, yeah. Okay, excellent. Well, you get seated there for a second, get comfortable. I'm going to take one moment here to just pull up your info, alright? Let me just make sure that I've gotten all the paperwork that we need. Okay. Yeah, feel free. There's a rack over there to hang up your coat, anything that you don't need right now. Yeah, you can put stuff under the seat there for sure. Just I ask that you not leave anything on like the actual workstation here, alright? Of course, thank you. And if you need to now, I'd say that you go get the washroom if you need to. It's the last door down the hall there on the left. I've got food and snacks kind of at the back as well. We keep, you know, cookies, bags of chips, water, energy drinks, things like that. So if you need any of that, if you haven't done that before you got here, please make sure to get yourself all ready to go, okay? I don't want you passing out because you're dehydrated or anything. Great, thank you. So I've got the waiver, the waiver set here. Excellent. So, quick question for you, dear. Do you have a preferred name that you go by, or do you just use your legal name? Okay, excellent. Good to know, thank you. Okay. So, yeah, I can see here you put in all your info, address, contacts, and your emergency contact is your friend, correct? Yes, I see all the info there. I just wanted to confirm. Very unlikely that anything's going to happen, but just in case, right? Okay. Excellent. Now, well, I don't think there's anything else I need to grab from you paperwork-wise, as this is a flash. So, we hadn't been in contact before about designs or anything like that. So, I just actually had a quick couple questions for you. I say that 5 times fast. So simple things like, have you ever had a tattoo before? Okay. Okay, excellent. And then may I ask how you found our studio, or how you found my flash event specifically? Like social media, Instagram, things like that. Okay, it's good to know. My stuff is finally picking up. So, I feel like I have another question. Oh, I saw it in your file, but I wanted to confirm with you verbally. You don't have any allergies? No latex allergies? I don't use latex gloves, but just to be sure. And no known allergies or bad reactions or unnormal reactions, irregular reactions to tattoo ink, the whole process, the healing. Okay. Right. Very good to know. Yeah, so I'll give you a rundown then on the healing process while we're here now. You will get a pamphlet at the front at the end when you go to pay with Terry. But basically, I will give you a like a second skin type of bandage that's very clear. That's gonna go right over wherever, you know, you get the tattoo. And you're gonna leave that on for 1 week or so. depending on how the healing is going, it needs to be said, try to keep it out of the sun. If you're in sunny areas, wear like a long sleeve or something protective over top, depending on where you're going to get that tattoo, obviously. Don't, get it wet or anything. So, you can shower, tomorrow, but you need to make sure that Band-Aid stays on. If it comes off for any reason, you can come back in and I or one of my other staff, if I'm not in, will reapply it for you. Alright, good. And then, what else? That has to be said as well in relation to the, don't swim, for the first 2 weeks. So you'll have the Band-Aid on for a week. It'll come off after a week, but then don't swim for another week after that. Okay. So you can, I'd say in the first couple weeks, just apply some type of basic lotion. So once that first week is done, the bandage comes off, I'd ask that you use a very basic lotion to keep it moisturized. Often it can get quite dry. Yeah, just during that whole healing process. So try to gently moisturize it with just a little bit of moisturizer once a day. You don't need to go crazy with it. Yeah, so any products that don't have extra additives in it, I know there's a lot of moisturizers and things that maybe have exfoliating properties or extra skincare, retinols, AHAs, BHAs, all this good stuff that you normally may like. Just ask for, again, a very simple, basic moisturizer. Just no extra added ingredients, just as is. Right? Yes. Of course. Yeah, and just ask that you don't drink for the next 48 hours, I hope you didn't before. You did. Okay. Just to make sure that, it doesn't cause any extra bleeding or thinning of the blood as it's healing. Yeah, it might bleed a little bit. Because it's a small flash, it depends on the person, I'll say, but it's really unlikely. Like I find for myself, I never bleed when I get tattoos because I don't get heavily shaded or color pieces. So the more shading, the more work that's done, the more there's a likelihood it might bleed a little bit. Okay. Did you have any more questions for me about the healing process? What you should do after? Of course. No, that's a great question. I was just about to get there, but thank you for asking. So, please do call us if you have any worries or questions about something. It's normal for it to maybe bleed a little bit afterwards, to look kind of scabby almost, have a lot of flaky dry skin. What's not normal is what's the word? Almost like bubbling. Like if it's to bubble up and start causing a lot of irritation, if it starts changing colors and looking like a bruise or infected, if there's any pus coming from it, give us a call, okay? And if it starts to get really bad, or if, say, your skin starts to really raise and look infected, immediately call your doctor, into a clinic, a walk-in clinic, okay? Get it checked out, because that could be a sign of a reaction or infection. Again, very unlikely, don't you worry. Well, my dear, did you have any more questions for me at all before we get started with everything? Good. Okay. Well, let me pause me, at any time if you need a break or you have any questions, okay? Excellent. Good. So, let me show you the flash that I have left. So, I just have one sheet left. That's okay. If you really wanted to get one of the repeatable flashes that I have on my back wall over there from earlier in this event, you can totally do that. I'm trying to get, you know, non-repeatable flashes done, but if there's nothing that you really like here, you can feel free to do that. Yeah, it's okay. Well, I'm glad you got in. Like, you're near the end of the day, but that is great. That means, you know, sometimes you get some of the interesting pieces, and, you know, you're not waiting on other people ahead of you. Exactly. So, I have here this flash sheet that is left. I just added some of these other ones in, so they look taped on. That's why. Yeah, so because our shop, as you might have got the rundown from Terry at the front, is a little bit cottagecore-y, a little bit nature-y, witchy. That is the style of tattoos we tend to do. I personally in the shop do a lot of smaller, simple tattoos, specifically with the flash, that is more on the fine line side of things. All these are going to be the size that they're at. Okay, so I won't be adjusting size. That will be something if you enjoy my tattoos and maybe you want to, say, come back for a personalized piece or a bigger flash when I release a bigger flash in the future, then you can certainly do that. But so for these, the size is staying as is. I won't be adding to them as well, but I can certainly add more shading if you'd like. I know some of these are not as shaded, particularly like the leaf branch and the crystals and the butterfly, so I can certainly add more to those as well. And these are all going to be in a black and white. Alright, so let me go through each of these here for you. I've got here the leaf branch. Slightly similar actually to my actual tattoo that I have on my right forearm here. Mine's a lot longer and bigger than what this will be. This is about an inch, 2 inches long. But it is a great piece to put maybe around your wrist, around the bottom of maybe a surrounding tattoo you already have. Next I have the crystals here. Got 1, 2, 3 crystals and a bunch of little stars all around. Alright. Yeah, that's a good one. I had a lot of different crystal designs that went really fast earlier on this morning, so I'm glad at least there's one left for you if you so choose. Alright, then got your standard little butterfly tattoo. Very cute. Right. Then we have the other type of tattoo that has been a favorite today, and it's often quite popular in my shop actually, is the mushroom tattoo. It's got little leaves branching out and lots of little sparkly stars around it. This is one of my favorite types of tattoos to do on people as well as get on myself, so quite fun. Next I have this cute sun or sunrise tattoo over little waves. Bright. It's not sticking out. And I got on this end here a bigger flower. This is probably about the biggest of the flash pieces by like a little bit in size. I don't remember offhand what this flower is called. It's been a long day. I'm sorry, but this is a very pretty piece. I opted to not do a stem on it, so it's just kind of the flower itself that you're looking at. Alright. And finally, for the most detailed of the tattoos on my flash, I have this beautiful whale right here. It's got kind of the similar flower actually to down here on it, on its back here. I've got lots of details and the lines under it, lines on the fins, little dots and details on it. And that's a great piece I find if people want to like have something that kind of fills in their tattoos, or maybe like kind of sits around their knees sometimes, is a good one. Right. So you've got some good naturey, slightly, witchy options if that's what you like. I assume you're into it a little bit, at least if you're at our particular studio. So, so you want to pick two? Okay, that's great. No, that's perfectly fine. We got lots of time. We got a couple hours still. Not a problem, and there's no limit on how many you can get, so. So what two are you thinking? Okay. And then what's the other one? What one are you thinking of today? Is the number two? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like both those options. That's great. So I'll do both of those for you then. Now, in terms of placement, what are we thinking today, my dear? Well, if you're too particular and you're looking to kind of just have the tattoo, yeah, some people come in and they like know exactly where they want it, but it tends to be people who are pretty heavily tattooed already and are just trying to find smaller pieces they like to kind of fill in their sleeves a little bit. Well, what about if you're looking for some ideas? We could do. Excuse me, sorry. Are you okay if I touch your arm? Thank you. Give me your arm here. We could do like here on your like forearm, or on your other arm here we could do the like bicep kind of here. I would avoid the inner bicep just because some people find that is a little more scratchy, painful than kind of on the outer bicep. I'm gonna have it like wrap up and around here, or kind of loop around here. It's up to you. I don't know if I'd advise personally any of these pieces, in my personal opinion, along this part of the forearm. With these pieces, they're all pretty small, at about like 2-3 inches maybe, and if they're like this, they're going to, at least in my personal opinion, if you want to go ahead with this, it's fine, but if you're asking for advice, if it's such a small piece, it's not going to cover the full length of your kind of front forearm, so it's going to look, I don't want to say strange, but a little strange, because visually, the eye is drawn with the tattoo to this whole part of the arm, so if you're just to get a small piece there, it just might be hard to as well like figure out how to fill in the rest of that forearm, if that makes any sense. No, of course. Again, it's totally up to you, but if you're asking for advice, that's my advice. The only exemption I would make is with like the leaf one, like a wrap piece that's like mine. If you were wanting to do it straight around like your wrist or kind of like around the side, that could work a little bit better, but I just personally think straight and up down the forearm might look a little difficult to work with. Okay, so you want one on each arm then? Good, okay. So right arm, which one will be on the right arm then? Okay, good. So let me see here, sorry. So right about there? Yeah, I have a measuring tape right here. Just to give you an idea. Yeah, exactly. it's gonna be about 4 inches there, okay? In height, length is gonna be a little bit shorter. So let me show you here in your arm, okay? So if you want it placed right there, it's gonna be the 4 inches, all right? And then for this flash piece in width, oh my goodness, let me just do this, make it easier on myself. There we go. It's gonna be about right there. So is that placement, you think, gonna be good? Okay, yeah. Well, that's perfect. And then if you really want to move it around when we get the stencil on, then we can wipe it off your arm and restart. For sure. Okay. And then where on the left arm? The opposite, so they're going to match it. For sure. I can do that. Okay. So that one was going to be a little bit higher, but wider. A little bit shorter, sorry, but wider. Okay. So about there. About 2.5 inches. Yeah. And then the height is going to go about there. Good. Okay. Excellent. That is not a problem at all right there. Just give me a moment to get myself ready, man, and we'll clean you up, do the stencil, and get started. Okay. So I've got new gloves here, and as you can see, they're not latex, so that's great. Yeah, feel free if you need water or anything, go for it. Be one more minute. Okay, are you all set, my dear? No final questions, concerns? Cool. All right, I like it. So, do you have a preference of which one we start with today? Okay, might as well start with the right arm. Exactly. So, we are going to clean the area and get the stencil on first. So, I have here a bit of a sanitizing spray, okay? It's not going to sting or anything. It's more so just going to feel like I'm spraying you with water. Right? So if you can just roll up your sleeve there, yeah. Is that comfortable to stay up there? Good, okay. So let's. Okay. And I got my just a little sponge here. Good. Do a little bit more. Good. Alright. Yeah, I could just lean a little forward. Thank you. That is excellent. Clean all that up. Okay, excellent. That is all clean right here. So let me grab the stencil that you wanted here. Cute. Okay. So I'm just going to turn your arm towards me a little bit. Thank you. I'll get you into a more comfortable position when we actually tattoo. Take my slightly damp. Yeah, it's kind of like when you do the little fake tattoos as a kid. Yeah, the ones you get at the fair or in like a birthday gift bag or something. Okay, let me see here. Looking looking good. I think it's exactly where you wanted it. Could you just turn around, look in the mirror, just don't touch it, please? Thank you. And just do a final assessment if that's the right spot. You like it? Okay, great. So no adjustments, no more shading or anything that you want in it? Okay, great. That's good. Okay, we'll turn back around. And if you're good, we're going to get started on the actual tattooing. Alright? So, I'm going to get you to... You're in actually a swivel chair right now, if you didn't know. Yeah, so you twist that way. You could face in that direction for me. Great, so that your arm is facing towards me. Excellent, so this is much easier to work with. And yeah, if you want to turn your head back and look, that's perfectly fine. I just want you to not be in such an uncomfortable position that you're gonna have to move constantly. Yeah, no, because there's no color, because these are pretty small flash pieces, it shouldn't actually take that long. Okay. So I've got the needle, as you can see here in this package. I'm just going to show you that it is a brand new sterile needle. Okay. Okay. So I'm just ripping it out of the package. That's it right here. Brand new for you. And I'm going to grab a new needle when we do the other arm. I like to be just extra careful. Okay. Alright, so I've got my tattoo gun here. Okay. And I think we're ready to get started. Please let me know if you need to pause, if it kind of hurts too much, if there's anything going on, okay? Especially if you feel like you're going to pass out or not feel well. Yeah, okay. Alright, so just stay as still as you can and we'll get started. Alright. Just pull a little more for it. Thank you. How you doing, dear? You okay? Good. Yeah, this one won't actually take me too much longer. Just gonna start the details now. Okay. Just gonna finish up these little sprinkles and dots now. Okay, my dear. All done. Don't touch it, okay? just wipe it off here for a second. Okay. Well, it looks very clean. How about you take a look? Turn around in the mirror there. Yeah, it's cute, right? Excellent. So, any worries about it? Questions? Yeah, I can wipe that little bit off for you, don't worry. Did I miss a spot? I'm sorry. How about that? Much better. Okay. Excellent. Well, how did it feel in terms of pain? Okay, not too bad. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Well, then, if you're feeling okay, no dizziness or anything, I'm going to cover it in that bandage, like I said, and then we'll get right on to the second one, alright? Great. Okay. I'm gonna save that other half of the band-aid for later. Okay. Readjust, sorry. Okay, so let's get this right on your arm, okay? Just extend it out. Good. Okay. That all good? Excellent. So try not to touch it. Try not to scratch it as well, if I didn't mention that already. Some people find their tattoo gets very itchy, especially underneath around days 3 to 5. But not everyone, so just be aware of that. Alright, and number 2. Good. So I'm going to get you to turn the opposite way, facing that way for me. Thank you. And we're going to grab tattoo number 2. Get in with the same process here. Alright, let's get some water going here. Okay. There. And reaching in, and wipe it off. Okay, all clean, all good there. Sleeve rolled up. And let's get the second one on you here. Stencil number 2. Tap it on with a little bit of water. Is that? Yeah, again in the mirror. Okay, excellent. You like it, so no changes in placement. Just a little more shading, sure. So I could do a little shading like right here, about there in that corner. And what about up here? Top left, good. And about around the sides, right there and there. Kind of all parallel each other a little bit. That work? Excellent. It's going to be very light, again, because it's a fine line. It's going to be pretty minimal in terms of shading and all that. Excellent. Let me show you needle number 2 here. Replace our little gun. Opening up the package here for you. And that is the clean new needle. Alright. Just gonna get it on the gun here. Good. Fitted. And are you all set to go, my dear? Great. This one should not take too long either. It's a little smaller one even than the one on your left, alright? We'll make sure to do that for shading. Alright. Still feeling okay? Good. Just a little bit more of the shading, okay? That's how I get it quickly now. The shading is not sketchy. One more section. Alright, and we're already done. Let me give this a little wipe and then you can take a look. I'm not being too harsh on your skin, sorry. Okay, that's all clean now. And I don't think I missed anything this time. Alright, turn around and take a look. Okay, oh, you love this one even more. Excellent. So no changes then, and turn back around to me. Thank you. No changes in the design or anything in terms of shading. Placements look good. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you liked it so much. Well, we will finish up by getting this bandage on you, right? Last one. Sorry, just and you're all done, my dear. Did you have any questions for me then about how, the healing process works? Anything else like that? Okay, well, if you have anything at all, any worries, questions that are not too dire, then please give our front desk a call, and if I'm around, I can even come to the phone and talk to you directly. Of course. Well, that was my pleasure. Thank you so much. I am happy to have worked with you, and I hope maybe you'll come by again for maybe a special design of your own. Right. Well, you take care. Heal up nicely. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Alright, well, see you later, dear. Thank you so much. Alright, bye now.